You have prayed late at night, quietly, when nobody was watching, and you called it faith. It was not faith, it was a negotiation, and you were the one asking for terms. Tonight, that negotiation ends, because underneath all of your bargaining, there is something that has been waiting in silence for years to be noticed. If there is no God, then what exactly are you doing when you pray? Prayer is a byproduct of belief. You begin with a God, and once you have placed someone up there, some kind of relationship becomes necessary. That relationship is prayer. So, you start praising Him, and under the praise there is always a motive. You are asking for something through it. Your prayer is not a pure love affair. No, it is business. That is why you pray when you are in trouble and forget it the moment the trouble passes. When something arrives that you cannot manage, you pray, because now you need help. And the day the difficulty lifts, you forget God and prayer both. You know the exact places: a hospital corridor, a results page that would not load, the night before the one decision that was going to change everything. And in all of them, you offered your terms. You never meant it. Then the moment it passed, you went back to being someone who does not really believe. There is an old Sufi story about a ship coming back to its home country. Suddenly, the ocean went mad. Great winds rose. The ship was almost on the verge of sinking, and everybody on board started praying. Who would not pray at such a moment? Even the atheist prays, even the agnostic prays. Forgive what I have been telling you. It was all nonsense. Forgive me, but let me reach the shore.
But one man was simply sitting there, a Sufi in the green robe, not praying. The people became angry. They said, "You are a religious man. You wear the robe, the green robe of a Sufi. What kind of Sufi are you? You should have been the first to pray. And we are not religious people, we are just business people. And to us, this prayer is also nothing but business. We are bargaining with God. We will give you this, we will give you that. Just save us. Why are you sitting silently? Why are you not praying?" He said, "You have already said it. Because I am not a businessman. If He wants to finish us all, good. If He wants to save us, good. I am in total agreement with Him. Why should I pray? For what? Prayer means some disagreement. Something is happening which you do not want to happen, and you want God to intercede, to interfere, to stop it, to change it. But I have no business of my own. It is His business to bother whether to save us or to drown us. If He wants this Sufi to be saved, that is His business, not mine. And if He wants me to die, that is His business too. I had not asked for birth. Suddenly I was here, so I cannot ask about death. If birth is not in my control, how can death be in my control?" Those people thought the man was mad. They said, "We will take care of you later on. Let us get to the shore somehow, and then we will take care of you. You are not a Sufi, you are not religious, you are a very dangerous man, but this is not the time to bother and quarrel with you."
Notice what you just heard. Every prayer you have ever made was a complaint wearing the clothes of devotion. You were not surrendering, you were filing an objection against your own life. Void Sutra will say it plainly. A man who agrees with existence has nothing left to ask for. And there was one man on that ship who agreed with nothing, who was about to prove exactly what your prayers are worth. On board was the wealthiest, most famous man in the country, and he was coming with millions of diamonds and precious stones. He had made a fortune. He had a palace in the town, the most beautiful marble palace. Even the king was jealous. Even the king had asked him many times, "Give this palace to me. Name any price and I will pay it." But the man said, "That is not possible. That palace is my pride." When the ship was almost sinking, the man shouted to God, "Listen, I give that palace to you. Just save me." And as it happened, the winds died down, the ocean became calm, the ship was saved. They reached the shore. Now the rich man was in a very difficult position because of what he had said. He had been angry with the Sufi. Now he was not angry. He said, "Perhaps you were right just to keep quiet. If I had followed you, I would not have lost my palace. But I am a businessman, and I will find a way." And he found a way. The next day he put the palace up for auction. He informed the nearby kingdoms. Many kings, queens, and rich people came. Everybody was interested.
And then they were puzzled. Just in front of the palace, there was a cat chained to a marble pillar. The rich man came out and said, "This palace and this cat are both up for auction together. The price of the cat is 1,000,000 dinars. Dinars were their dollars. 1,000,000 for a cat. And the price of the palace, 1 dinar. 1,000,001. The people said, "For this cat, 1,000,000 dinars. And for this palace, just 1 dinar. The businessman said, "Never mind about that. If you are interested, both are going to be sold together. I will not accept anything less. If anybody is interested, this is my minimum price." The king of the country said, "Yes, I will give the price. But tell me, what is the secret of this cat and this palace?" And he said, "There is no secret. I just got into trouble because of a prayer. I told God, I will give you the palace. And I am a businessman. If he's a businessman, I am also a businessman. The cat, 1,000,000 dinars, that I will keep. And the palace, 1 dinar, that will go to God's fund." Do not laugh too long. Prayer is just your effort to persuade God to do things your way, and it is entirely your own imagination. In the first place, you do not know God. You do not know His likes and dislikes. You do not know whether He exists or not, and you are praying. This is a poor state of affairs, and it is happening all over the world.
The cat is still chained to your pillar. Everything you swore you would give up if this one thing worked out, you kept. You always keep it. You have never once paid what you promised in the dark. Nothing you hand over in fear is a gift. It is a receipt. And there is one movement left that cannot be bargained with at all, because it asks you for nothing. I am against prayer, because it is basically business. It is bribing God. It is hoping that you can prop up His ego, that you can tell Him you are great, you are compassionate, you can do anything you want. And all of this is being said because you want something. There is a motivation behind it. Without the motivation, you would not pray at all. I am against prayer. I am for meditation. And these are the only two dimensions. Prayer, the false dimension. Meditation, the right one. In prayer, you first imagine a God there, and then you project a prayer toward Him. In meditation, you do not have to project any God. You do not have to believe in any God. You do not have to utter a single word of prayer. On the contrary, you move inward. In prayer, you are moving outward. A God there, and then a bridge of words between you and Him. In meditation, there is no God out there. You search within. You search within for what is actually there. Who am I? What is this life energy? What is this consciousness in me? If only I can know this consciousness, this life in me, then I have known the universal life. I am part of it.
Just taste the ocean from anywhere, and it is salty. So taste your own being. It is the closest place there is. Within yourself, taste your own consciousness, in silence and in peace. Prayer will be wordy. Again you will be talking, chanting, using a mantra or something, filling the space. No. In meditation, the words have to be dropped, and you have to learn to remain wordless, even for small moments. But in those small moments, so much blessing descends. From those small gaps, the whole universe starts pouring into you. You have not sat with yourself for 10 minutes in years. Something always arrives first. A screen, a voice, a plan, a prayer, anything that fills the gap. You call it faith or work or keeping in touch, but look at it honestly. It is fear. What you are afraid of finding is not a monster. It is a silence so ordinary that it embarrasses you. Nothing announces itself, nothing answers. There is only breath and a body sitting in a room and a life going on without waiting for your permission. That is exactly the place where the whole thing opens. A meditator comes to know and then to feel reality throbbing inside, the heartbeat of existence. And then there is a thankfulness that carries no motive in it, a gratitude to nobody in particular, simply a gratitude for all that is. If you still want something like prayer, then let it be that. Not a request, a love affair, authentic, without any motive, just a thank you, addressed to no one, addressed to the whole. Here is the last thing, and it is not going to comfort you. Nobody was ever listening. That is not the tragedy you think it is. That is the door. Every prayer you have made was an attempt to be heard by something outside you. And the reason nothing ever answered in words is that the listener was never out there. It was the one sitting in your chair doing the asking. You built a God so enormous that you would never have to meet the small, breathing thing that built him. You have been talking so loudly for so long that you never once heard the thing that was answering. It never used words. That is why the prayer never worked and the silence always did. Void Sutra will leave you where it found you, with one sentence you already knew and kept postponing. The moment you stop asking, you have already been answered. If something in you went quiet while listening, do not explain it. Let it stay quiet for a while. The last video asked what you were running from. This one showed you what you were running toward, and they turn out to be the same face. It is waiting at the top right of your screen. This is Krishna, And this was Void Sutra. Maunam, Satyam, Moksham.